then I can ask you to actually maybe talk. Just gonna look at the chat. Have more certainty. Certainty. Yes, okay. So, okay, so let's start the presentation. So, yes, I want to thank you again for being here. This is, you know, this is really, really such an amazing game that we're playing. The reason being that I have to challenge myself to actually also have this level of appreciation for things that are not even there. And really, it has shifted my life around. And I'm always now thinking about how can I be more appreciative. And I still find myself going back into these old ways of thinking and being, getting caught up in reality, getting caught up in negative thinking, getting caught up in fear, you know. So this game is really upping my game to really just live the laws and to really be the example myself. And I can say that being here, it has really, really helped me not to just channel the game, to really design it with the downloads of source and to get out of my way. Basically, if I have to sit down and think about what I need to be writing for the course, then I know I'm not on the right track. I literally only trust it when I'm behind the computer and things just flow. It's just like blocks of thoughts coming to me. So the difference between blocks of thoughts coming to me and me having to think about it is literally, if I have to think about it, I get stuck. Because I think of one thing and then I'm thinking, well, am I sure about this? Maybe it should be something else. Whereas if a block of thought comes, it really feels as if it's not mine, as if it's like a radio station or somebody calling me, somebody telling me what to do. And this is how we designed the game. So we really are just a vessel. Ellen and I really believe that we're vessels. And we really even get movies from the blocks of thought that tell us what to do. So for the next game, we have a beautiful movie that is about our destination addiction. But before we're going to play the game, we really want to help you decide whether the business game is the right one for you or the relationship game is the right one for you. Ellen and I decided actually tonight that we're going to do a 7-day taster for both the business vortex game and the relationship game. And this has everything to do with the fact that for some reason, our bank accounts are taking much longer time. And this is the thing about opening a bank account, I think worldwide now, is that there's a lot of legislation going on. It took us a long time to get a VAT number, and even to get like a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce. It took us more than a month's time. And now it might take us 2 months' time with a certain bank to get our bank application ready, which is like crazy. And so we're thinking about ways that, like, you know, instead of going into victimhood, Ellen and I are thinking, why is this happening? Why can't we just start getting paid and paying our affiliates? So we were thinking maybe it is because we have to get our systems ready, maybe because we need to add more value so that we have so much clarity about what is working. And so we actually decided tonight that we're going to do a 7-day business vortex game for free. For the next, starting next Thursday. So you can invite anybody you think that would benefit from the game. And after that, of course, we'll have the Wednesday, the 19th of February, where we will be explaining the relationship game that will be starting. But instead of launching the paid games, we're going to launch a 7-day free game for the relationship vortex game. So again, you know, we just want to be like all the amazing teachers out there. We want to basically show you how you can benefit from 7 days really being on a platform where you're going to be inspired every day, and where you're going to actually really have to do the work instead of just knowing it, and where we're not just working with knowledge, we're just really helping you shift your level of consciousness and shift your vibration by giving you the right exercises, bite size every day. And so this is all happening because of the stuff that's going on with our bank account. And yeah, so basically we don't know what's going on, but Ellen and I need to live the law. So we just trust it, we surrender. We are tuning into the quantum potential that we already grew an amazing business that is benefiting so many people. We're just channels for the divine knowledge coming through us. And all of us, we are just empowering you to actually also live your highest destiny, to live the most fun, the most fun destiny that you can ever think of. Yeah. So, but I'm really, really excited about the business vortex game, but also about the relationship game, because if I do it myself, I'm going to benefit so much myself. So really for myself, I can say that I actually saw a huge increase in my own business after applying the things that we've been doing here. And basically, I really started from going from devaluing myself and devaluing my business to appreciating my business. And one of the businesses that I'm talking about, a lot of you are in that business. And that is a business where we actually we have the most amazing products of the whole world, but it's all about mindset. That specific business is all about believe in yourself. And wouldn't you be crazy enough to say that even I, you know, that knows everything, I wasn't vibrating self-confidence and self-belief, because I, just like all of you, I was hypnotized by what is, or what was, or what we call actual reality. So when I heard from Abraham Hicks that when you appreciate, you can also appreciate what's in the vortex. You can appreciate what is going to be in the future, the so-called future. You can appreciate your desire. You can appreciate vibrational reality before it even happened. And you have to start telling a new story. Stop telling the factual story. I was thinking, oh my God, Angelique, you've been listening to this for years and years and years. Why don't you just practice it? And I literally, my big turning point was, some people have told me, some of the people that meditate with me in the Dr. Joe group, they said, Angelique, I think your big shift was after Abraham Hicks came to Amsterdam. Abraham Hicks came to Amsterdam, and those of you that saw the webinar, I did Amsterdam workshop summary for myself. And Abraham Hicks gave me a, you know, this was like a 2-day workshop, right? But I took away certain things from that workshop that were very, very much, I think, a sign of my progress. And at that time, I think I was ready to hear from Abraham that I was source, that I'm not a human being, that we're all infinite, and that we all have the power to create our reality. And that this delusion that we are human beings is keeping us into this human conditioning. And that alone is creating a lot of things that we don't even want. And because if we really believe that we're divine beings, we would feel worthy as divine beings. We would feel loving as divine beings. We wouldn't take things personally anymore. And instead of trying to create, efforting to create, trying to believe that we're worthy by doing all this effort, we would just know that we're worthy, and we would just choose what we wanted, as if we were in a restaurant ordering a dish, you know? So that, I think, was my biggest turning point. And the second big turning point was that Abraham said in the Amsterdam workshop, and I think Abraham has been saying this for years, but I really heard at that time that Abraham said, you as human beings love justifying what isn't working for you. You love to talk about it. You love to regurgitate it. You love to create a lot of support network for your wounding and for the things that are hurting you, and creating more of the same because you're getting so much love from it. You even like erect statues for people that are hurting and wounded. And you never think about erecting statues for people who effortlessly, in a fun way, create success. These people are not efforting enough. They're not suffering enough. Why would we give them attention? So that really made me think that, you know, actually, if I look back in my life and I look at all the amazing things that I already manifested, they didn't come from effort. They didn't come from me, you know, suffering. They came from me being in alignment and being in a place of amazing optimism and gratitude. And these things would just show up when I didn't even want them anymore. So I was detached. I was feeling whole. I was feeling worthy. I was feeling in love with life. I was feeling frisky, you know, that word, that really weird word of Abraham. And I was feeling, you know, playful. And that is when things showed up, when I wasn't coming from a lower vibration of wanting it or needing it. So this is really what I think we want to emphasize for the Business Vortex game. These are the skills that we're going to practice. The skills that we're going to practice is really to get you more in the detached mode, to get you more into a mode of knowing that you're an infinite being, knowing that you're worthy, And knowing that you can choose. You don't have to choose the efforting, difficult path. You don't have to choose to have to heal yourself. You're already whole. Your predominant vibration is of source. That is also one of the things that Abraham said in the Amsterdam workshop. Your predominant vibration of source is way more powerful and way more predominant than anything that your human body is going to tell you to do. And so when I started hypnotizing myself with that knowledge, I watched my own webinar many times. I was like, Angelique, you just know your source. You just know it. And I know some of the people that hang out with me, like the people that stay with me when I'm in hotels or that travel with me, they said, Angelique, something shifted in you. So what is it that you think that shifted? You really believe you are God? And I said, yeah, because we're that powerful. I am not giving myself any credit, and I'm not making anyone feel better if I believe I'm a human being and I act like a human being. If I listen for days and days and days and I spend thousands of pounds to go to retreats of Dr. Joe, where he's teaching us in every meditation, you are a divine being, but I don't feel like it, then I have to shift my vibration. So the appreciation game, I would say, is very, in short, what is the appreciation game? I would say, if you want to know what an appreciation game is, the appreciation game is an accountability game in a setting of, sorry, where am I? The appreciation game is an accountability game in a setting of a group. So it's designed as a game, and it's designed to be done with a group. And two things happen in the appreciation game. So you have accountability and you're playing a game, but you do it for 28 days consistently with the purpose of catching yourself being in old ways of thinking and being that are not helping you to align with who you really are. And also it's helping you to break the 7 toxic ways of thinking and being. We will go into that a little bit further. And also we're going to break the habit of only focusing on what is or what was or what we don't want. So these are the 2 big ways of being that actually keep people from being in alignment or being in a vibrational match with what they want. So during those 28 days, what we do is we create new habits. We're going to teach you things that are going to help you to break those 7 toxic ways of thinking and being. One of them is super easy, and it's called heart and brain coherence. At Heart and Brain Coherence, we've had many seminars now where we explain the scientific benefits of being in heart and brain coherence. Watch those webinars of us. We basically manifest it out of thin air. This amazing report called The Appreciative Heart, which is all about what happens when we're actually appreciating what happens with our intelligence, what happens with our intuition, what happens with our body, what happens with our performance, and what happens with our physiology and our, basically how our brains synchronize with our heart beat, etc. And also that research actually also explains how we affect people when we're in heart and brain coherence. So that is even a side effect that we're not even talking about, how you're affecting people because you are in heart and brain coherence. And heart and brain coherence, if you would sum up all the teachings of what is going on when you're in heart and brain coherence, you could almost say that is alignment. People that are in that state of being with their physiology, with their emotions, with their intellectual capability, they are in alignment because they're not triggered quickly. They're not living in fear. They're not living in doubt, worry, and doubting, the outcomes in their lives. They just in trust, and they know that that everything works out for them, and they embody it. It's not just knowing it, they embody it. So during those 28 days, we're going to give you so much information, bite-sized, and giving you little exercises for you to do that are very different every day, coming from different teachers, but they're basically designed to help you be inspired to become a vibrational match. To become a vibrational match with what you desire. And, and because everybody is doing it at the same time, you are going to not just have the accountability of putting it down for yourself, but you are going to read about the miracles and the manifestations and the breakthroughs that other people are having. And because actually we're all so similar, you seeing somebody else having a breakthrough will do something with you. You will think, wow, if it's possible for that person, it's also possible for me. Yeah. So what are the other things that are happening? I'm just gonna look at who else is here. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. I just want to say, if you could, just put in the chat what you would love to get out of tonight for the Business Vortex game. So please put in the chat if you want to, if you want a specific thing that we need to look at. I will read the chat from time to time. So I already explained that the appreciation game is to help us break the 7 toxic ways of thinking and being that are so like ingrained in our ways of being as human beings, that, you know, what I've noticed from myself and from reviewing and assisting the players in the appreciation game is that people that are playing the game, they start catching themselves in the toxic ways of thinking and being. And they also know that these toxic ways of thinking and being is the opposite of being in alignment. And the price that you pay for not being in alignment is just way too big, because over the course of 28 days, we've been training people to actually understand that being in alignment is being the best version of yourself. And when you're the best version of yourself, you just are a magnet. You are a magnet for great things to happen. And we've seen it in our game. And I will explain to you the 2 types of people that were in our game, so that you can really see where you are and what you can actually get when you're in the game, when you consider playing the game. But definitely, because we kept talking about the 7 toxic ways of thinking and being, and people had to catch themselves being in it, a lot of people started transforming it. Like some of them started catching themselves being in comparison mode, comparing themselves with other people or competing with other people, which is, you know, when you compete, you're not creating, right? When you're comparing, you're not seeing, you're not valuing others or yourself. Another toxic ways of being is a consistent devaluation that we have about ourselves. We're devaluing situations, we're devaluing events, we're devaluing ourselves, we're devaluing our businesses, we're devaluing challenges or stepping stones to our greatness, as I would call them. Also, we're generalizing. We see one thing happen. Let's say you had one horrible relationship and you think all relationships are bad. You know, we make these type of crazy associations in our mind that don't even make sense, but it's because our body responds with it with chemicals that we believe it's true. So these are the addictions of our body, because we have a very limited neural network regarding certain so-called failures in our life. And also, we're very often stuck in blaming. We feel like victims. We'd rather blame the economy. We'd rather blame clients, or we'd rather blame Brexit than take responsibility for our business results. So one of the 7 toxic ways of thinking is definitely, you could break it down to victim plus lack consciousness. And victim and lack consciousness is the opposite of living in a state of creation. Victim and lack consciousness is living in a state of survival. And when you're living in a state of survival, you're not going to be clear. You're not going to be downloading information from the quantum field. You're not going to be intuitive. Even if you would meet your ideal business prospects or your ideal business partners, they wouldn't resonate with you, because you're not on that vibration that they believe you, that they believe that you believe in yourself. And so when you're in victim and lack consciousness, you're definitely not a leader. You're definitely not a winner. You're not coming from a winning mindset, and you're definitely not a vibrational match to your ideal business life or whatever life you're trying to create. So to go back to creating from survival is a term from Dr. Joe. And in one of his books, he talks about the state of living in survival and the state of living in creation. And when I heard about these topics, I was obsessed about it, because all I wanted was to live in a state of creation. So my whole intention for 2019 was to live in a state of creation. That was the only thing I wanted. And I didn't know that I was going to teach this, because I was like, what is the state of creation? I was trying to figure out what it was, but now I know what it is. And it was just a lot of events coming together that taught me what a state of creation is. And a state of creation is the opposite from time warping. Time warping is when you're not living in the present moment. Time warping is when you're taking events from the past and you're putting them in the future, or you're putting them in the present moment. So you're not even seeing clearly. You're coming from an old identity and you're working with distorted facts, thinking that that is the only possibility. Also, when we're living in a state of survival, we are busy in catastrophic thinking. We're just thinking, you know what, the worst is going to happen. Instead of training ourselves in best case scenario thinking and feeling, we have been trained, because of our amygdala, to be living in catastrophic thinking, you know. And I am a master of catastrophic thinking, because I downloaded it from my field, from my family. And you know what, and can I blame them? Because my parents were born in the Second World War. They were born during the Cultural Revolution. When my mom was a baby, they had a Japanese invading their village. And, you know, so, and so, you know, I am not in a space of pride when I say that I downloaded catastrophic thinking from my family. I believe that I chose this family very wisely, and that catastrophic thinking in my body as panic attacks is something that I had to overcome for years, so that I can really know that it's not something you make up. When you are in catastrophic thinking, it is like your whole body is caught up in that fear, and it's a very, very debilitating way of living. But definitely I healed it myself with a lot of amazing work, a lot of meditation, a lot of different techniques. And, you know, so this is something that, you know, the way that I experienced this was really heavy. But I can tell you, when you're waking up and you're feeling fear around your business, when you're waking up and you're feeling worry about business, your business, or bills to pay, you have been training yourself in catastrophic thinking, and that's how you're creating your life. So that's something you need to break out of. And that is what the appreciation game will teach you. It will teach you to catch yourself in catastrophic thinking, or in urgency, meaning you are taking massive action or making decisions from urgency, not from a state of alignment, not from a state of downloading the intuition from the field. You're not even trusting your gut feeling. You're just acting from urgency. And very often, we are then following the rules of mass consciousness. We're following the rules of, you know, life is just about survival, the Darwinian viewpoints of life. And these are really almost in stark opposition with the laws that we're studying. Yeah. So those of you that are here, I think most of you have been studying the laws for many, many years. And you know that mass consciousness is not really helpful. Mass consciousness is full of lack consciousness, victim consciousness, and the idea that we're helpless and that we just have to take it as it is and just, like, you know, try and survive without breaking our necks or breaking our pension plan or something. I mean, is that a way to live? I don't think so. And definitely this is really, I am surrounded by people who have different businesses or in their lives created their ideal husband, created their ideal business partners, created their dream homes from the vision board, created winning awards, created healing themselves, created their soulmate, created their dream house. I mean, these are the people that I am surrounding myself with, and I'm one of them now, because I always knew that it was possible. I always knew that I was creating people from my vision boards. I was creating scenes from my vision boards, mind movies. I was creating the houses in my mind movies, the exact mountains and the houses in my mind movies. So I knew that I was really good, but I was missing something. I didn't know how to crack it every time. And I think what was missing was this really commitment to not just try the laws when it's convenient, but to really master it. And to master it, we have to be consistent. And to be consistent, you need to do the work every day. And you need to do the work even more when you're not getting the results, because there is a little voice in you that knows that you are a master. And you're a master in creating from survival, or you're going to master creating in a state of creation and create in a state of joy, in a state of alignment. So when you are studying with us and you are doing this appreciation game, what you're going to do is 28 days, you're inundated with people and assignments, little assignments that help you catch yourself when you go back to these old ways of being. And because of the accountability, you're going to feel a responsibility to not let it go, to not let it be, because so often we disappoint ourselves when we just are by ourselves. But when we do something in a group, you know, we start to think, I have to report about this. Am I going to lie to the group, or am I just going to be super honest to the group? I had a very difficult day, but I thought about this game and I was challenging myself. And I think this is the biggest hero's journey that all of us have, which is we are going to fight ourselves. We are our own dragon. And this is of course, the people that were in our 28-day first business Vortex game, they had to watch the movie Finding Joe, and it was all about us being the dragon. We have to start fighting ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. We cannot blame anybody else. And when we've done that, when we understand that we have these toxic habits that are ingrained in our personality, they are ingrained in the ways that we see life, that we see business, relationships, money, our self-worthiness, how safe it is to be successful. When we understand that, we are complementing it with new teachings that wake us up every day, wake us up, inspire us to see the world in a slightly different way. And what we're doing is we're creating new neural networks. We're not just studying a book like we study, like we eat chips, right? Because so often, what I really think is a bad thing, you know, and Ellen and I are completely against this because, you know, I studied with Bob Proctor. We don't believe in reading a book and then reading another book and then reading another book and then reading another book. That is absolute craziness. Reading a book doesn't give you anything. Reading a book gives you knowledge, but knowledge is not sustainable. When you do not repeat the knowledge, when you don't live the knowledge, your neural networks are going to be gone within a few hours. Yeah. So you can be a consumer and read so many books, go to so many courses, and go to I don't know how many workshops and retreats, have a little bit of a high for a few days or a month or so, and then crash. You're back facing your old self. So in the appreciation game, we give you the accountability in your day-to-day life with your clients, with your business partners, with your meetings, with your targets in your neck, breathing in your neck. And so what we do is we really study micro sections of books that really are going to shift your life. We don't give you too much. We just give you enough to make you wonder, oh my God, I've heard this 1 million times. Do I live this? No, I don't live it. If I lived it, my life would be different. So we have chosen the sections for you that you are going to study in the Business Vortex game that are about the critical skills of alignment that we find hard to accept because we are human beings. And I'm going to explain to you what they are. But because we're going to study it and apply it in micro sections, bite-sized day by day, you are going to train your brains to create new neural networks. They're going to be creating associations with other networks so that you start becoming more creative and more resourceful. Instead of just being stuck in the 7 toxic ways of thinking and creating from survival and these myths and, you know, false premises from mass consciousness, you're going to be like immersing yourself in the laws, in the real laws of the universe. And you're not just going to know them, you're going to actually start living them. And that's what we offer in the appreciation game. And so I think that when I started dissecting what we're doing in the appreciation game and what type of habits we're breaking, I dissected a few skills that I would call the alignment skills. And the alignment skills, they take effort. The alignment skills are going to challenge you. The alignment skills are not for the faint at heart. The alignment skills are going to, they're going to really, they might even piss you off because you might have had a strategy of all your life getting a lot of love, complaining, or you might have gotten a lot of certainty and a lot of significance from being a victim. But with our game, you're going to have to challenge those ways of being. But the thing is, you're going to see why these old strategies here in the red, they're not going to help you. They are really, really actually keeping you in a place that you don't even want to be in. So this is the benefit, I think, of being in the appreciation game, which is you are going to break habits, but you're also going to be creating new neural networks. And because you have to live it with your eyes wide open, so you're not in a retreat, you're not in like a beautiful hotel, feeling amazing, and then, you know, you're confronted with your boss and your business partners and your targets and your deadlines or your milestones that you didn't achieve again, you know. So this is really why we think it's so important, and you do this in your daily life, but also you're doing it in an accountability setting with a group that is not just knowing it, but they're also doing it. You want to be in a group of people that are going to do it, and you want to inspire each other. And that is, I think, one of the things that we love about the game, is that you don't do it by yourself, you do it in a group. And when you see other people creating breakthroughs and creating crazy miracles, like really above and beyond results, better than they ever dare imagine, you're going to think, if they can do it, I must be able to do it. And wait a minute, these people achieving these amazing above and beyond results, I've been reading their posts for a few days now. They sound different than me. They're not complaining. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. What are they doing? Maybe I should pay attention. And so, you know, and I will explain what the difference is between people that are really getting the above and beyond results and the people that are still hanging in between. Yeah, because it's really easy. It's because we're using the David Hawkins consciousness scale. So the other part of the equation, imagine we were just talking about the 7 toxic ways of thinking. We're now going to look at this habit, which is we are hypnotized. We are hypnotized by what is. We're hypnotized by what was, and we're hypnotized by what we don't want, what we resist. So what we're going to teach you in the appreciation game, because of all the amazing teachings that we're going to gather from all the amazing gurus and, you know, intelligence, divine intelligence being channeled to us, we're going to wake you up. We're going to dehypnotize you by your fixation on the 5 senses, your fixation on what is, or what the science of getting rich calls the appearances. Yeah, you're going to take your attention off so-called reality or the facts. You're going to wake up from complaining about it or talking about it or giving it all your energy and attention. And you know what? This sounds so easy, but it isn't easy, because it is the hardest thing to do. Hardest thing to do. But imagine that if you start studying the teachings and you start realizing that if you keep on talking about what is, you're just going to keep on activating what you don't want. And you keep on reading this day after day after day, and you start, there's a turning point that you're going to catch yourself wanting to talk about what is, wanting to obsess about what is. And you think, you know what, I'm not going to go there anymore. I'm going to take a piece of paper with a pen, and I'm going to start thinking about what I do want. And I'm going to start writing that down until I feel it, until I shift my consciousness. And that is when you have created a huge turning point in your life. But to do that, you know, a lot of people don't know how to do this. And these are the areas of your life where it most matters. And there is no area in our life that matters so much than our money. Because there is no area in our life that we don't need money, right? And money and the way that we make a living, it is in our face. It is in our face all the time, you know? So this is why we need to really find ways to break this reality feedback loop. The reality feedback loop is, reality is there all around me. And because I look at reality, I observe reality, I think about reality, that's what I feel about reality, and I think that's the only reality. So the loop about what's possible is reality. And if your business is not doing well, that's your reality loop. If you've been struggling for many years to progress in your business, that's your reality loop. If your business is making you feel uncertain and not sure of yourself, that's your reality. Yeah. So you cannot think beyond what is. And it is because we have this moral code of ethics in the normal human world that we should say things as it is. Now you'll understand why. Sorry, I'm just going to mute people.
No, I also received that. So
sorry. Yeah, some people unmuted themselves by accident. So basically, what is important is that you're going to break this reality loop, and we're going to do that by tuning into new potentials, tuning into what we want, what is already happened, what according to some people, these possibilities already exist. We just need to choose them. We just need to line up with them. According to Abraham Hicks, if you want something, it is already done. And I just manifested today a video where Abraham was keeping on saying, you're not lining up with things to create them, because once it's in your vortex, it's already done. You're only doing things to line, your only reason why you're lining up with things is because you want to allow it into your life. And because you came here to have a joyous experience. You're not even creating it by lining up, because it already exists. The only way is how quick can you get out of the way. so that you can, so that it can enter your experience through the path of least resistance, to the crack of least resistance. And if you've been listening to Abraham a lot, you know, the crack of least resistance is when we are distracted enough to be in alignment. And that is not a good way to live. We want to practice, not the crack of least resistance. Crack is like a little crack in a big door. No, we want the big door to be open. We don't even want there to be a door. We want there to be like a big gateway, like, you know, like this is my huge gateway to alignment. And it's easy for me to be there. And I, you know, I'm not even separating myself from alignment because I've mastered myself so much that I can actually really easily be in alignment. So what we're going to do with the 28 days is we're going to teach you to tune into new potentials. We're going to teach you to tune into a new potential. And even before it shows up, you're going to feel, you're going to practice appreciation. You're going to practice loving it. And you're practicing letting go of needing to know how it will happen. Yeah, because that is the biggest addiction. And that is also what, you know, a lot of the teachers say that we love thinking about how is it going to happen, how it's going to happen, and that keeps us out of the vortex. One of the things that, because you're starting to tune into the new potential and you're appreciating it and you're bonding with it with love, you're feeling it before this already happened, what will happen? You suddenly become a vibrational match. And to be a vibrational match means that you're going to receive intuition or blocks of thought that are going to help you to take the next logical step. And you're going to do things that surprise you, that don't have anything to do with logic, but they make sense because you will find out, as I did and as Ellen did, and even as my partner did, my new boyfriend did, when you start to tune into that intuition, you have the most miraculous manifestations. They have nothing to do with logic. They are about us being in alignment with our vortex. And when you are in the vortex, you will recognize the cooperative components, whether it's people or circumstance and events, and they will recognize you. But we have to become the vibrational match first. That is what we're doing in the appreciation game. So Abraham says that we need to do it for 30 days. And if we do it for 6 months, the change will be so powerful that others who know you will not recognize the old you. That's amazing, right? So yeah, so basically what I want to do now is I want to go into a life example. So basically I want to explain the two types of people that we had as players, yeah? So in my opinion, if I want to be really, really broad in how I'm going to see people, how they play the game, some were already above 200. Yeah. So their baseline for their life or their business was already, they were not victims. They were not devaluing themselves. They were appreciating themselves. They somehow had practiced enough of the teachings and conditioned themselves enough that they were not devaluing themselves. They were not devaluing others. They were not living in a state of survival. They were reliving in these states of being. And when they started playing the game, they went higher and higher and higher. And as they went higher, you know, especially David Hawkins talks about 350 being a very, very important point. Because if you're in 350, you are no longer expecting to get things from anybody or anything. So when you're in 350, you're no longer chasing business success thinking it will make you successful. You already feel successful. You're no longer wanting a relationship thinking you will feel loved. No, you already are loved. You already feel loved, and you love people unconditionally. And it's that type of magnetism at 350 that you start magnetizing people to you that are also not needy, that are also not, you know, in a state of lack. And this is it. Everything above 200 means that you are consciousness that makes you a vibrational match to what you want. Whereas if we're anything under 100, 200, we are actually vibrating the lack of it. We're vibrating not having it. So for instance, if you look at desire here, desire is the emotion of craving, and life view is disappointing, and the process is enslavement. What it means is you want something, you want that success, but you don't think you can have it. You don't really feel you can have it. And aren't we all there? A lot of us are there because we have not been trained to believe that we can have whatever we want and that whatever we want is already created, it's already there. So most of the time when we see other people have what we want, we have the desire, and then we feel there's something wrong with us. And if we do not turn that around, we're going to keep on creating from the same level of consciousness. Some people are stuck in anger. They're angry at themselves, they're angry at the economy, they're angry at other people who are more successful or whatever it is, right? Some people are in fear. Their predominant vibration about business and their capability or about money is fear. So imagine that all of us are somewhere here. Those that were getting phenomenal results in the appreciation game, they were already here, meaning courage 200, meaning they took responsibility. They didn't see themselves as victims, and they accepted that they were so powerful that they could turn everything around. And it was the journey that they took that made a lot of them actually have amazing results. They started magnetizing things coming to them. They were not trying to chase people. Things came to them. And that's what's happening in my life as well. Things come to me. I just have to align and things come to me. And so this is really an amazing way to live. So for those of you who are still here, not to worry. A lot of the players that we were playing with were still here. But what was going on in the appreciation game, they were living in all these lower states of consciousness that were really very apparent for living in a state of survival. And they started catching themselves being here. And these, because they are really the 7 toxic ways of thinking and being. And when they caught themselves, they would change it. They would do something to change it. And once you start doing that consistently, you're going to prune those neural networks. And when you start to prune those neural networks of survival, and you're creating new neural networks of alignment, and you're creating more trust, you're creating more self-worth, you're creating more self-belief, you're creating more belief in your goal, you're creating more belief in other people. You know what? People are gonna feel it. They're just gonna, they're gonna be magnetized to you. And they're just gonna know that there's something different about you, but they don't know what it is. And you probably have met these people. These people just have this amazing radiance around them. They just have this confidence around them. You're thinking, what is it that this person's doing? It's just their level of consciousness. They just trained themselves out of these toxic ways of thinking and being. And we can all do that, but all of us will have our own little hurdles, and all of us will have our own little dragon to fight or to befriend before we get there. So what I want to do is I want to look at a few things that very often we get stuck in our business. So I spoke about this vibrational set point of 200, which is courage. And above courage, you're in power. Your energy field is so powerful that you can magnetize things to you. Whereas if you're under 200, your energy field is so weak that you need energy from the field to feed you. And the energy from the field that is feeding you is very often lower levels of mass consciousness. And lower levels of mass consciousness is telling us that life is difficult, life is this, life is that. And you don't want to be there. Really, you don't want to be there. So let's look at, for instance, and I want you to think about these areas in your life. Think about your sales or the prospects that you meet on a regular basis, or think about maybe a conversation that you often have with your prospects about affordability of your service or product, or think about this issue about the value of the product or the value of money. Because when you're under 200, we would say that you would find with your sales that you find a lot of people that have no or low interest, or you're in a situation where you're not finding the ideal clients that want and need your product. They just don't want it. They're just not interested in what you have to sell. And so what we believe is very true is that your reality reflects your inner world. So everything that's happening in the outside world is reflecting what is happening inside of you. So what we're going to help you to do with this appreciation game for the business vortex is to really become a vibrational match with, you are somehow just stumbling onto ideal clients. Ideal clients just feel that they need to work with you because your ideal clients, you don't have to convince them that they need the product. Your ideal clients want and need what you have to offer. They are looking for this already. And so one of the exercises that we could do every day is just for 7 days, we're going to teach you to just just write a book of positive aspects about how your ideal clients are looking for this product, how they're benefiting from the product. And you just do it until you shift your vibration and until you see your reality reflecting what you really now believe to be true about how much your product is needed. Yeah. Imagine another scenario. You have a lot of people telling you your product is not affordable to me. I want it, but I just don't have the money. I mean, I was in a position like that. And I will tell you that I was struggling with the business for a long, long time because I was always thinking about how can people afford this, because I was always focused on the people that didn't have the money for what I had to sell. And you know what? I will share after this seminar, I will share an interview that I did with two beautiful ladies. I attended one of their courses. Their course was all about spicing up your social media presence, but I did that with helping me to understand my ideal client. So I would tell you, if you're having a lot of these crazy discussions about affordability and about the value of your product and your service, and you know you have something amazing to offer, then you are not clear about your ideal clients. You are still targeting the wrong people. Once I got really clear about who my ideal clients were, they were flocking to me. My ideal clients, I will tell you, have money. They want to spend the money. They need the product more than they need air. They would rather not eat than to stop buying the product. And that is how I determine my ideal client, because I am my ideal client. Yeah. So when you're not clear about the ideal client because you haven't done the work, yeah, you've just been like wishy-washy, trying to target everybody, trying to convince people to buy your product, and they're not even right for your product. You are not clear from a very fundamental perspective, that you aren't clear about what it is that you want to work with. Who is it that wants what you have to offer? Or who is it that you would love to sell to? So I will share that interview so that you guys can see it. And maybe if you feel called, you can contact my friends and maybe be in one of their courses. They are 2-day courses or 3-day courses. They're really amazing. They can really make you money because they're really gonna shift your perspective around about who your ideal clients are. But if you don't have it clear who your ideal clients are, you're going to have a lot of conversations about the affordability of your product. Yeah. And very often I would say, if you keep on seeing people coming to you that say your product is not affordable for me, is because on some level you believe that it is not affordable because you have fears around money. You have still some kind of scarcity consciousness around money. And that is then where we need to guide you to do the work around money and your wealth consciousness, and to get out of this scarcity thinking about money is scarce, and to really think about how can spending money make you money. How can your ideal client, when they actually buy this product, even though they think it's not so affordable, but they don't care, they want it. And so one of the books that we will be teaching from is actually this book from Kindle. Yeah. Zero Resistance Selling Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Waltz. I actually the mind, of course, I'm always in masterminds. And so really, we cannot afford to be dumb and ignorant. We need to study the stuff and apply it. So one of the books that we'll be studying is that book, so that you really start to see yourself as a successful salesperson. You start to act like it, and you are always there to give the biggest amount of value. And because you start vibrating it from the inside out, you are not targeting the wrong people. You appreciate the wrong people not buying from you, because there's an abundance of your ideal clients out there looking for what you have to offer. And you cleaned up your vibration around money. You cleaned it up. So when you cleaned it up, you believe that money, there is many ways to make money, but you're going to be shown the right way for you to make money, because you have a gift to offer to the world that nobody else can offer. Your life, your challenges, and everything that you've been through is perfect for a specific target of clients that want to work with you, or employers, or companies that want to work with you. So the other thing is doubting the value of your product, doubting the value of what you're earning or what you're asking, or whatever it is. And when you find that people are negotiating or they're not convinced about the value and they're trying to get it cheaper or something, you know, this is all to do with your own lack of valuation of what you have to offer. And so you would need to do a lot of exercises where you're going to change the way you look at the value of the product that you offer or the service that you offer. Yeah. So this is the work that I had to do. And I swear to God, when I did this work, and this was because I went to that 2-day course of my friends that I'm going to share, I really became so convinced that there were so many people that were my ideal clients. I just had to get out there and let them find me and attract them to me. I manifested the most crazy things happening. Like people wouldn't even know what I had to offer, and they just felt that they had to contact me. And then when they contacted me, they would become like a huge like business partner of mine. And my business literally, when I started, stopped devaluing my business and devalued myself, and I started appreciating my business, and I started believing that my ideal clients were out there and that there were at least a few billion of them. I started, my business went from, it went up with 430%. And without me doing much, it's just like I started attracting these people into my life. And now I'm just thinking, you know, wow, if that's possible just because I shifted this, like what else can I shift? And so I really now know that I was in the way. I didn't believe in the value that the products that I was offering, that it was valued by the people that I was prospecting. And it was because I was prospecting the wrong people. I was prospecting the people with no money, prospecting people that didn't need it and didn't want it. Like that is the reason why you are not succeeding, guys and girls. If you have an amazing offer, that is the only reason why you're not succeeding. The other reason might be that, you know, this is where we're going to look very, very much at your self-image. The other reason why you're not achieving the results is because you're not valuing yourself. You're not valuing how much you're worth. You're not valuing what you are doing. You're probably an amazing giver, but you're a really crappy receiver. Yeah. And this is to do with all the wounding that we have around receiving, the vulnerability of receiving. And because of all the spiritual work I do, and I do work in different fields, I've done a lot of work on the theme of open and worthy to receive. A lot of you want to receive, but you're not open to receive because there's too much vulnerability around being open to receive, and there's a lot of wounding there. And so when we're going to play this game, it is very important that you start to realize how you are stopping yourself from receiving. You're stopping yourself from believing in your worth. You are the one that is separating yourself from greatness and from being worthy and open to receive. And when you stop doing it, you're going to see shifts happen in your life, and they're going to be really, really amazing. So I want you to think about maybe this specific slide here. And I want to go to this slide. I want you to take a pen and paper, and I want you to think about something that is so-called something outside of you. So I don't want to talk about ourselves because we're going to do a lot of that in the 7-day Business Vortex Taster game that is free. I want you to think about something that's outside of you that you think, oh, I don't feel it. I just feel not so good about it. I feel lack. I feel worry. I feel doubt. I feel fear. And I want you to write down here in this column. Yeah, just take a piece of paper and create these 3 columns, and just write down what is happening in your current reality. You know, it could be, I'm not reaching my sales targets, or I keep on meeting people that are not ready. I keep on meeting people that have no time, have no money. It's not the right timing. I keep on meeting people that, you know, don't want the product. They're really rejecting me. They're rejecting whatever I have to offer. And then I want you to think about, and if you've written that down, I want you to really think about, if you have turned this specific area around, let's say you would go to the desired ideal situation around this subject, how would you feel? So instead of trying to think of the circumstances, I want you to think about, write down here in this column, how would I feel? I would feel relief. I would feel invincible. I would feel grateful. I would feel like I am adding value. I would feel valuable. I would feel I am helping people. And then you'd understand that the results that you're having here are because you are not a vibrational match with this situation. When we are meeting all these people that are rejecting us in our business, we are creating from what I would call this reality loop, because we are trained to watch and observe reality. And so when we play this game, we're going to make you so aware that you have to stop creating from current reality. You have to stop observing it. You have to stop thinking about it. You have to stop, like, keep on giving it attention. We have to start thinking about what we would feel like if we already had that amazing result. So I want to share now, for instance, what we are going to do in the business vortex appreciation game. So this is day 2. So day 2, we are going to practice the skill of offering the vibration before the manifestation. So we start with a little video. This video is called Unconditional Joy. And then this is the teaching. And this teaching looks very like, this is like 2 paragraphs, like change your life, you know. And this is the thing, a lot of people read a book and then they're like, yeah, I know it, but are you actually living it? So let us read this together. Yeah. So what does Abraham say? And this is not just Abraham, this is also Dr. Joe, this is also Bashar, this is all, you know, different teachers. Every manifestation teacher is teaching the same. You cannot let your vibrational offering come only in response to what is and then ever change what is. You must find a way of feeling the excitement or satisfaction of your currently unrealized dreams. We're talking about unrealized, meaning they're not here yet. You have to find a way of feeling the excitement or satisfaction of yours in this timeline unrealized dreams before these dreams can become your reality. Find a way to deliberately imagine a scenario. Imagine, daydream, make it up. Daydreaming, making it up, imagination is a creative faculty. Making it up has a really bad rep. People don't know that imagination and making it up is creating their life. We have to start creating again. We have to start imagining, and we have to stop thinking that imagination is a childish thing. It's a huge thing for creators. Find a way to deliberately imagine a scenario for the purpose of offering a vibration. The purpose is offering a new vibration, because that's the only way you can tune into that new reality. And for the purpose of the law of attraction, matching your vibration with a real life manifestation. When you ask for the manifestation prior to the vibration, you ask the impossible. So this sentence is saying, when you are offering, oh, my business is not going well, people are rejecting me, and you are wanting the manifestation that is different, but you are not changing yourself, you are asking the impossible. When you are willing to change your vibration, because we live in a vibrational reality, everything is a mirror, a copy machine of your consciousness and what you are offering. When you are willing to offer the vibration before the manifestation, all things are possible. And Abraham doesn't say that for no reason. All things are possible. So we're not saying all things are possible except. And they're also not saying all things are possible because you're just not good enough, blah blah blah, and you've gone to 1,000 which still didn't work out. No, it's not for you. No, they say the only thing that we have to change is we have to shift our vibration. But the thing is that we have to start giving the vibration before it is going on. And this is coming from the book Money and the Law of Attraction. So let's go to another discussion. So then we give you the assignment to actually do something with it in your life, and you choose a topic. So day 3, so it's a very short teaching. Again, there's a video, but for some reason there's a glitch here and I can't see the video. So if I click on edit, you will see the video. It's a huge video with this specific game, with this specific day. So this is, let me see, yeah. How to Overcome Shortage Consciousness, and also Abraham Hicks, the Inspired Entrepreneur. So these are two videos. And then the teaching is from the book Money, the Law of Attraction again, and see how short it is. It says, many would protest, claiming that a simple rewording of a sentence will not make a shiny new car appear in your driveway, or change your fat body to one that is slender, or cause your employer to suddenly change your personality and begin to treat you differently. But they would be wrong. When you deliberately focus upon any desired subject, often proclaiming it to be as you want it to be, in time, you experience an actual shift in the way you feel about the subject, which indicates a vibrational shift. When your vibration shifts, your point of attraction shifts, and by the powerful law of attraction, your manifestational evidence or indicator must shift also. Again, you cannot talk consistently of the things you do want to experience in your life without the universe delivering the essence of them to you. So when you keep on talking about certain things, the essence of it will be given to you. So then we will give you another, basically assignment to talk about the things you want to experience. So instead of this addiction to talking about what is, talking about what was, talking about what we fear, talking about our worries, trying to figure out the how, we start wondering, we start giving a lot of attention to what we do want. So Day 10 is when you actually play the game. Day 10 is actually really about, instead of talking about yourself, we're going to talk about other people. And this specific one, let me see what I created. I really scoured for the best games. Telling a new money story. And this one is my favorite. Think about large sums of money every day. And so basically a very short teaching. And then the assignment is choose one subject in your money, business, or career that you wish to change the vibration of. Could be your ideal client, your big sales volume, your revenue, or achieving your bold business goals. Now write a story as long and until you really feel a shift in your vibration. Do not stop until you have shifted your vibration. So you can see here that basically every day you get a bite-sized teaching, and every day builds upon the day before that. And after a while, because you have to reply, you have to basically respond. Your accountability is to reply to this teaching. And because you're replying, so when you're replying, you can put in a video, you can put in an image or a link, or you can write something, you can even write an essay, whatever it is. You are going to really be showing the group that you've thought about it, you engaged with the material. But also what you're going to see from all the people that are in the game. So you might be in the game with 30 other people. You will be, not because you are nosy, but because you're inspired, you will be reading all the entries of other people, and you will be inspired to think, oh my God, that person is doing this, that person is doing, yeah, of course, of course. So this whole group setting is very, very important for the game. So thank you, Sherry. Oh my God, I downloaded the 4 weeks in like 2 days. And this is really why I trust it, because I wouldn't be able to do this with my analytical mind. I just really found the right information. So when you look at the business vortex game, day 9, so day 9 is write a new story to shift your vibration, the power of influence of one in alignment. And I said this before in, I think, the last webinar. This specific story is about a woman who had a son that was struggling in his business. And she then basically started writing a new story about her son in his business. So she wasn't the son writing about his business. She was the mother of the son writing about his business and his business success that was then not happening yet. And what happened was that, in a few days, the son started getting success in his business. And Abraham was saying, you know what, when you work with other people, you can drag them to a course, you can give them, you can nag them, you can say, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Or we could exert the influence of our alignment. Remember, Abraham Hicks keeps saying, one person in alignment is more powerful than a million that are not. And you have to really understand what that means, because I can tell you from all the crazy experiments that I've been doing with tuning into new timelines with other people, that this stuff works. And it works not because we're white magicians or we're black witches. It works because when we visualize the best for other people, we are in alignment. We are in alignment when we see the best in other people, when we feel the best about our business, when we feel the best about the people that we work with, the people that we love, and even the people that are, we want to kill them. Yeah. When we are tuning into the best of everything, we are in alignment. And guess what? We're going to attract only the best of these people showing up in our reality. And so somehow I can tell you, I've been guided to be like, I've been like led to the most amazing videos like that. And they are all in the game, like 28 days of the next business game. And so, but we're going to design a 7-day game that is free because we don't have a bank account yet. So we're just trusting source, thinking, maybe more people should play the game. We should just add value. But what we really believe is that after you've played the game for 7 days, you're going to know that there's so much benefit to doing the work. And if you feel called to do the work with us, you can sign up for the next 28 days game, whether it's the relationship one or the sales one. And the offer is, I'll show you the pricing. We have all these testimonies for all these amazing people here. The offer is 1 month game is 279 ex VAT in euros. 3 month game is 649 in euros. 6 month game is 1,111. So basically, because Abraham said, if you do it for 6 months time, nobody will recognize you. And wouldn't that be amazing, right? But if you're a first time player, you don't know us, you're going to get 50% offer for whatever you choose, because we want you to really have a go with the 28-day game. The 7-day game, you'll definitely get a benefit, but to really know what's going on in your business and to really see shifts and to help you break those habits, I think 28-day game is a really great start. And you can get a 50% off for the first month for the first time players. And if you are one of our players, you can even get 20% affiliate commission when you bring in your friends or your loved ones or your business partners. So we want you to make money. We really believe in creating a huge abundant network of people that are benefiting from the game and that are going to be rewarded because they bring us clients, because they really believe that people will benefit from the game. So yeah, so basically the game has 4 weeks. The 4 weeks are in 4 different sections because we really want to help people get the best out of the game when it starts. So it says here 13th of February, but we're not doing that anymore because we don't have the bank application ready. So basically the first week is all about your self-image, all about you as an entrepreneur and how you think about yourself. Because if you are devaluing yourself in any way, or you're comparing and you're competing yourself with other people, you're going to lose. We have to start valuing ourselves. The biggest piece of self-appreciation is like really starting to appreciate ourselves without condition. And a lot of people in business and relationships is very difficult because we've been hypnotized to devalue ourselves because we think devaluing ourselves is going to motivate us. Well, it doesn't. And it really basically lines you up with other people that don't value themselves. So stop doing it, and I had to do it. I had to stop doing it myself as well. So the second week is all about things that are so-called in the external world. And of course, they're just like, a mirror to who we are. And so we're going to have to talk differently about our sales. We're going to have to talk differently about our business partners. We'll have to practice that. We'll have to share it in the posting if you want to. The third week is about joy and ease. Joy and ease as my path for my business Vortex. And that is we're downloading and we're looking into the research around this specific phenomenon, which is not a normal phenomenon. But funny enough, I have several books from people who actually live like this. So Michael Singer is one of them. And another book I have is about a lot of big entrepreneurs that were they were all doing the Sedona method or the release technique. and they wrote a book called Meditation and Entrepreneurship or something. And all of them, all they did was do spiritual work, and then they started their own businesses without even knowing how to do it. And they all like really were very successful. A lot of them were multimillionaires. And a lot of these people were the teachers or my peers or my mentors in the release technique. So I know that this stuff works. You know, even Vijay Lakhani is now talking about it. And so this is not like woo-woo. This is really stuff that we should know. And if you're here, it's because you're on the leading edge. You are so far behind, so far beyond other people that are still thinking that it's all about effort and hustling. No, it's not. You know, really, when you start to surrender, when you start to go into the vortex, when you start to align yourself with the bigger plan that the divine has for you and your business, you are going to really go into this beautiful magical life where you get intuition after intuition and you don't even know where it comes from. And because you're not in the way, you are getting out of the way. You just follow it, you trust it, and you meet the people that want to collaborate with you. You get the right information, you manifest things with so much joy and ease that you're thinking, why didn't I know this before? I'm banging my head at the wall because I've been suffering for so many years. But you know what? Maybe without the contrast, you would not have done all this work, right? So appreciate the contrast. The fourth week is all about becoming a vibrational match with your business vortex. It's all about us training the feeling of, training the having of instead of the not having of. Yeah. So we basically really take you through all the skills, and I would say we do a lot of processes, book of positive aspects, pivoting, pre-paving, placement process, but also the grid work. We're going to teach you how to work with the grid. This is one of the skills that we're teaching, offering a new vibration before it shows up. We're going to give you a lot of examples for you to turn it around, to do it in your own business. Alignment skills is offering the vibration before the manifestation, choosing to tell the story of what you want, choosing to focus on appreciation versus the toxic ways of thinking. Also to embody, to really train yourself to be in the embodiment of having it, of being it, of having money, of having value to add, having the best product, having the best, I don't know, house to sell, having the best business speech, to really go from away from this lack consciousness to knowing that you're a channel of source. And when you step into that place, you embody that knowingness that will draw people to you, to do business with you and to work with you. And also one of the biggest skills that you will learn is to take your place as a deliberate creator and to really step into that place from a place of empowerment and a place of truth and a place of amazing love and gratitude. And yeah, my baby just came home. I'm just so happy to see him. Yeah, so if any of you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and to actually ask questions or yeah, so I'm really excited about the 7-day free game because actually Ellen and I, we don't believe in actually, you know, giving things away for free, but we just thought, hey, if we have to wait for 2 months for our bank application, because this is how difficult banks are nowadays, maybe Source is wanting to tell us something. And we thought about all our amazing teachers, and a lot of our teachers give stuff away for free. And the thing is, our game, you know, you probably can get all the stuff for free that we're teaching. The thing is, the fun is about playing it in a group. The fun is about you buddying up with people that are playing this game. The fun is about you practicing it day by day and having the accountability every day and seeing yourself and your buddies and the people in the game achieving amazing results, like crazy manifestations that you think, wow, you know. So again, is this game for you? You know, I would say really go inside, play the 7 days with us for the relationship one and maybe this one. And then by the time that the universe decides we're going to get our bank account, be our affiliate or be in the game and get it for 50% if it's just the first time that you're playing with us. Or if you really want to make money with this, you know, invite people that you think would benefit from this. So hopefully this was very clear. I'm not seeing any people raising their hands. So I just really want to thank you for being here. I know some of you have been in this game and have been such amazing ambassadors of this game. And I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for really playing full out and really trusting me and Ellen. You know what it is? For such a long time, I didn't trust myself. And when I started trusting myself, my whole life turned around, including this beautiful man that's in my house right now. And also, you know, me really, really having my business grow day by day. But also, you know, I can tell you right now, I'm now working with a business Vortex. And you do not want to know how much business I'm manifesting. It's not funny anymore. Like literally, I have to like clone myself, or I have to say no to my clients, or I literally, from multiple sources of income, things are streaming in, like from every corner. They're like, Angie, we want a piece of you. Angie, we want a piece of you. Angie, I want you to go to these salons with you. Angie, you have to travel to this place. Like, the thing is, this is the problem. So if you do not want it to be too busy, you don't want the success, don't join our game, because that is what's going to happen. I know from some of the people that are playing the game, they said, actually, it became so busy that I hardly had time for this game, and I love this game so much. And, but yeah, definitely. The funny thing is when you change your vibration, you want to help people. You will have so many clients come to you, but you will know, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to find a way. So one of the ways that I'm going to deal with all my multiple sources of income is I just have to be more productive. Like my baby wakes up at 6 o'clock. Well, I'll have to wake up at 6 o'clock too. And I'll have to start working. Like when he leaves the house, I'm on it. I'll have to start my day at 6:45 maybe, you know, instead of 9 o'clock. Do you see what I mean? Because you're so excited. You're so excited about your life and about your business. You so see the value of what you're doing. You so see the value of your business that you're going to be flooded with information. You're going to be flooded with inspiration, and people are they're going to think of you. They have a project and they don't know why, but they're going to think of you. Yeah. And so imagine that you could do that for your life, and that your life could turn around in that way. And so, yeah, so I hope that we'll see you in the free game. We're actually really excited about it. And we know that a lot of people will join that might not want to, that might think that joining the paid one is too expensive. But we know, you know, Ellen and I have created a grid. We have created a grid for our ideal clients. And we don't want to work with anybody else. We just want to work with our ideal clients. And that is how picky you should be. And I will post that video interview that I did with Idelma and with Geraldine. Watch the video, because you need to get clear about your ideal clients. And not just that, you need to shift your vibration to knowing that your ideal clients love what you have to offer. And you can do that with our games. So I hope that I can see you Wednesday, 19th of February. So next week, we're doing the relationship webinar. So I hope that I will see you there. Lots of love to you. And we'll think of a way for you to register for the free game for 7 days. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for your feedback. Blanca, Susan, Cherie, Sue, Jasbinder, Anna, and some of you are new here. You're friends from all our beautiful players. So thank you for trusting your friends. I can only say that, you know, your friends are on the leading edge. The people that were on the game, they were just really they were people with such beautiful hearts. Yeah, when is the 7-day business game starting? Next week. So lots of love to all of you. You're so appreciated. Alan and I, we are giving thanks for so much of your success in advance. And no, it's not tomorrow. The relationship game is next week, the 19th. Alan is then in France, so we still have to finish the webinar for the relationship game. And Cherie is one of those people. I leave WhatsApp messages for Cherie like several times a day. Cherie knows what we're going to do in the relationship game. So we're going to work with quite a lot of different teachers. We're going to work with Tony Robbins. We're going to work with John Gottman, who is the foremost researcher in the field of successful marriages and relationships. We're going to work with Sandra and Taylor, who wrote a book called Secrets of Attraction, Law of Attraction in Sex and Romance. Like, oh, would we want to know that? And that is a book that I actually studied. I studied that book several times when I was teaching Meeting the Lover Within, when I just started being a coach in 2012. And everybody that came to me, like, they're all on the same level as you guys. I always attract clients that have been studying spirituality and personal development for many years. And people reading the book Sandra and Taylor, Secrets of Attraction in Love and Romance and Sex, they were all like, this is one of the best law of attraction books for your love life, because it is not just woo-woo saying, oh, you just do this vision board and you're going to get your soulmate. Actually, it really teaches you to look at your horrible habits, you know, the habits of the 7 toxic ways of thinking is actually from that book. So when I teach the 7 toxic ways of thinking, it is coming from that book of Sandra and Taylor. So yeah, and there's going to be other teachers that I forgot about that we're going to be dealing with. You know, those of you that know me, I've been studying for many, many years, since I was 27. I'm now 49. So I have 20 years of reading books that I'm giving to all of you. And Ellen is amazing too. She's a bookworm just like me. So she and I are really in the right place to help guide and to decide what is the right curriculum for for all of you. So next Thursday, not coming Thursday, but next week Thursdays, the 7-day game is going to start. We still have to create the systems for that. And we hope that we'll get our banking system up and ready so that you guys as affiliates will get paid and that you can start joining the real 28-day game. Lots of love. Have a beautiful night, all of you. And it's time for me to go to bed as well. Lots of love. Bye-bye. I'm going to upload this and I'm going to share the recording. You'll get it in the email. Bye-bye.